we also try and teach them a little bit about doing some research about their competitors. That's a huge ball drop, in my opinion. I think most trainers, gym owners, we just don't know enough about our competitors. One, to know where to put ourselves in the market. Two, how to feel confident with our pricing structures and what we're really doing in business. But then three, how to differentiate.
Hey, fitness fans, welcome back to the Future of Fitness podcast and interview series. This is your host, Eric Malzone, and this is episode number 71. And this is awesome. So if you're in the fitness industry, this is Billy Polson. He is owner and co-founder of DIAKADI Life, which is a gym and fitness facility in San Francisco, California. One of my old stomping grounds, amazing city, one of my favorites. And what's really interesting about this, I think he has a very, obviously Billy's a great guy. You'll pick this up in the interview, just a great philosophy on life, on business, on training, health, all of these things. He has a great message, which I think permeates from the top down in his organization all the way to the clients. But what's unique about Billy, at least it's unique to me, and I talk to a lot of fitness professionals, especially gym facility owners, is that he focuses so much time on the development of the trainer. Which is really a missing piece in a lot of gyms. Now, I'm just not talking about how to actually train people, but how to manage their finances, how to market themselves, how to build systems, how to retain clients, all these things so they can build a business within his business. And now, after 12 years, I believe it's 12 plus years of ownership of the gym, he has a lot of freedom. So now he's starting a whole online business coaching segment for personal trainers. And all of it's awesome. There's so much actionable information in here that I hope you take away. Maybe listen to this episode twice because it's worth it. So before we get into that, our July offer is chatbots. So if you go to fitnessprofessionalonline.com/chatbot, you can pick it up for only $250. And for us, trust me, the amount of time it takes for us to set these up, we're literally giving that away. So what are chatbots? Well, they're the best source of lead generation that we have right now, and probably for the next few years. And everything's changing fast. It's only going to get better. And to have someone go in and set up your Facebook with all of the questions and answers, all the stuff on your business website would literally cost $1,000, maybe $2,000, and we're only charging $250 for it for the first 20 in July. It's ridiculous, but we're doing it because we think the fitness industry needs it, and we want you to take advantage of it. So go to fitnessprofessionalonline.com/chatbot and pick it up now. That's it. So episode number 71, Billy Polson of DIAKADI Life. Enjoy. Hey, fitness fans, welcome back to the Future of Fitness podcast and interview series. This is your host, Eric Malzone, and today I am talking to Billy Polson from DIAKADI. Billy, welcome.
How's it going, Eric? Thanks for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm excited. You're, I spent a lot of time in San Francisco, and you're one of the premier fitness establishments in that city.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's true. Like, you do leave a little bit of your heart in that city whenever you leave. It's a special place. So
it is amazing. So I've lived in San Francisco as of this year, half of my life. I've been here 24 years, and I grew up in North Carolina. I was there for 24 years. And when I first moved out here 24 years ago, my mom was like, you'll be there for a year and you'll come back. But no. It's a great place to live. Like, where else can you literally go and surf at sunrise and drive 3 hours and ski and snowboard on some of the best mountains in the world? Like, it's the best.
Yeah. What's your favorite mountain to ski at?
North Star. I'm a North Star guy, and totally because of the glades. The glades on the backside and lookout, I can get lost in those trees forever. I love that stuff. Yeah,
I'm from the Bay Area, so I grew up skiing in North Star. So I've got a lot of days there. And when they opened Lookout Mountain, man, that changed the whole thing. But,
for sure.
Yeah. I don't think people are here. I don't think they want to hear about us skiing. Let's get into your history. Tell me about your background getting into fitness, and then we'll talk about DIAKADI and then thebusinessmovement.com.
Most definitely. So I actually didn't start in fitness. My degree in college was in statistics, and I headed down the route of computer programming for work and coaching and doing athletics on the side. Back in those years, there was a much smaller fitness industry. So it took me a while to actually, one, get fed up with computers and sitting behind a desk all day, and two, to gain the courage and the knowledge to really head out into training. So I started training exactly 20 years ago this year. And what I did was slowly transition into building an independent training practice. I moved from computers 4 days a week and training 1 and 3 days a week and 2, and slowly built my independent practice here in San Francisco. I did that for about 5 years. And kind of the same thing happened. I got in the small independent gym I was working out in with my clients. I had filled my practice there, but there was literally a ceiling in the gym. Like, it was a basement gym. You couldn't even jump rope in the gym. So I was like, you know what? We've got to come up with something better than this. So about that time, I started working with my business coach and started writing a business plan. It took about a year. And my partner and I, Mike Clausen, we opened DIAKADI in 2004. And honestly, we opened the gym because we wanted a better place to train our clients. Like, I needed a place to run and jump and have turf and have athletes. And we were just kind of stuck where we were. So it was, like I said, it was totally from the heart that we opened it. And what it's grown into, we would have never in a million years guessed it. But now it's kind of become this hub, as you said, in San Francisco for fitness entrepreneurs. So we have 94 independent trainers who run their practice in some form out of our facility. And we're so honored with the group of folks we have. I always say we have folks with the highest level of confidence and the lowest level of ego. And it forms an amazing community that is just happy folks that love to share and learn from each other. And I'm honored, and I look forward to coming into these little guys every single day. It's good.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's a great story. And it's, all the time it keeps resonating true that, people who start their own businesses are successful. They're always scratching their own itch to start. And then it turns into something, that everybody else wants too. Also tell people what DIAKADI stands for, because it's an acronym.
Yeah, so we spent 3 days on thesaurus.com trying to come up with a name, and we couldn't find anything we felt like would be original and never be able to, someone would come in and duplicate it. So we ended up making up a word. So DIAKADI is an acronym, and it stands for do it all, kick ass doing it. Yeah. And it's honestly, it's a philosophy of our business, but it's really a philosophy of my life. It's like I talked about with the surfing and snowboarding. I am a person who I have to live life at 110%. I have to experience everything, and I want to really be able to master every single thing I try. And that's honestly our goal in here with all of our clients and trainers. It's the same thing. Like, have the space and have the knowledge and the tools to do anything you want to do and to really kick ass doing it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, if I'm listening, especially if I'm a gym owner, which I was and still am, let's talk about the structure of your business. Like, how does that work from, soup to nuts? What is, from the client experience to the trainer experience to the owner experience? That's kind of the trifecta, right? Client, trainer, owner. How does that all work together?
Most definitely. So I think ours is a pretty unique model. There are lots of independent training facilities. Most of them are around 4,000 square feet, maybe 5. We have a 14,000 square foot facility, like I said, with 94 independent trainers. So for us, it is very unique to have an independent facility of that size. I don't think there are many, honestly, at all that exist. We view our trainers and our clients as kind of a dual layer of client. So the top layer of client that we have are our trainers. So here at DIAKADI, what we're trying to do is provide every single benefit and tool and assistance that we can give to our trainers that they would get on staff at any of the big corporate gyms. But in a facility that they can be independent. So we provide continuing education to them. We provide assistance with anything from building their online forms on their website to, again, learning how to assess and program design. That's actually one really interesting thing. When we opened, we knew we wanted to do some education for our trainers. We assumed it would be mostly on assessment and program design and anatomy. What we discovered is we have this completely separate branch of education that we really didn't realize we would be doing, and it's entrepreneur and fitness entrepreneur training. So over the years, we've developed kind of like I said, a separate branch of education that we call the business movement. And that is 100% to educate our trainers on how to be the best fitness entrepreneur and the best business owner and the most successful business owner they can be. We want to really teach them how to fish so they can run and be as successful as they possibly want to be with their business. So that's our first level of client, or those trainers. We take the best care of them we can possibly can. The second layer is all of their clients. And the same level of 5-star service trickles down to them. Everything from reserved parking, as well as complimentary towels and tea and coffee and fruit and almonds, like anything at all that we can give them that it will feel like almost like a spa kind of spoiled experience when they come in. And it'll feel like a 5-star level facility, but in a small business. So our customer experience on the trainer and the client side is number one for us. We try and know every single name of every client that walks in that door, greet them every time, tell them thank you as they walk out. It is a huge, huge part of who we are. And as I said, we want it to be fun in here. We want it to be fun with every single trainer. We look forward to seeing each other, and same with our clients. And they feel that. They absorb that enjoyment that we have at work. It trickles right down to them. So like I said, I'm honored to get to come in here and have a good time every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, man. How do you find trainers, or do they find you? How does that work?
A little bit of both. I will say over the last year, thanks to one of our team members, his name is John Hackberg, we've really actually, probably for the first time in 14 years, really started recruiting and reaching out to people. More for awareness of the facility as opposed to really trying to hook them in. More, again, so they can learn about the educational opportunities they have here, or even to help them with learning the skills and gaining the knowledge of being an entrepreneur. So mostly we have just, folks have found us through word of mouth and our social media and marketing. But for us, it is something that we really try, especially with the business movement. We try and really put out there that we are open to share any knowledge and education and tools that they would need to, again, whether it be to start their own independent practice, to get out of a staff gym, or if they want to open their own facility. 100%. I want to help them do anything I can. I was so fortunate that folks helped me along the way. So the business movement has really been built to try and help that as well.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So explain again to me on the details on how does that partnership work with the trainers? Are they paying you a flat monthly? Is it per client? Is there percentage based? How does the money shake out?
Excellent question. Yeah, it's all fee based per session. So every time they bring a client in, they pay the gym $30. So anything above and beyond that, is all theirs to keep. They choose their own rates. Most of our trainers, I would say the majority of them are still doing the hourly session rates and plan. I would say a pretty good chunk of our folks are transferring over to that monthly payment plan, which seems to be kind of the new thing that not only are trainers finding success and having a consistent income every single month because they're getting all their clients on payment plans, but they're actually getting more consistency from their clients coming in. So that has actually been a big new thing that our trainers have taken advantage of. On our side, they still pay us $30 a session, but they're doing fees. I actually, on our business movement website, we spot like 4 different trainers who have moved to that monthly business plan, and I highly recommend folks check out that blog. And it's like I said, it's on our business movement website, thebusinessmovement.com, and check under the expert insights and look for the 4 payment plan options. It again can be life-changing for passive income as well as consistent income throughout your year. It's good.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, there's so many different models, right? I mean, there's the big box model. When I was owner operator, it was a mixture of coaches getting paid, per hour for group sessions, but then they are allowed to, essentially promote their own private training services within the group. It sounds like to have something working like this and have been doing it for so long, and then, having the freedom to be able to, like we were talking about, just take off for a trip, your systems must be tight.
For sure. And that's something, again, is when we opened the gym, we're like, it'll be fine. We'll figure this out. And we have figured out over 14 years, again, the more, as you said, concise your systems are, and they're built and they're done the same way every time. Even something as simple, I've been recommending to a lot of our trainers lately using Gmail canned responses. Right? It's one of the most simple tools, but it's saved me so much time in all of our interactions that we have with our new trainers coming in. But yes, the systems are in place for sure. We also, this is something that's rare for a small gym as well. We have a team of 8 of us that are on staff. And those are our team members, like our referral director and our general manager and our creative director and trainer ops. So we have a group of people who are helping run those systems. That can be a really common fear, I feel like, for a lot of small gym owners, that they feel like, I don't really have the bandwidth to hire anyone, so I'm just going to keep doing these things on my own. I cannot recommend enough. Anything that you can hire out for, the smallest of tasks, to free up your time as a business owner, to allow you to do more fitness business development, creative work, to really network and market, it is invaluable. And it's something that we slowly, in the beginning, we would just have someone come in the morning during peak time to help run the desk so we could just train, honestly. But slowly we increased the hours that the front desk was here, and slowly we built up to a team. And it has allowed us to really catapult our business because it's freed up my time to do more development. It's freed up Mike's time to do more financial work. So for young business owners, definitely keep that in mind. Do what you can do to get help. A great friend of mine, Ashley Selman, talks about the idea of a $1, $100, and $1,000 task. So anything that's on the $1 task list that you can pay someone else to do, that it's a better use of your time not to do, hire that out. And honestly, get to the point that the $100 are getting hired out too, so you can focus on those $1,000 tasks. Right?
Yeah. It's such a good point. And especially, I've just started using virtual assistants, virtual assistant within the last 3 to 6 months, and it's changed my life dramatically. But it's a skill. You have to learn how to use, that's a huge skill, is how do you interview them? How do you find them right? Because it takes a lot of time investment up front, but once you get things going, and once you have this relationship and they start to understand what you're doing, because, I don't know how fortunate I am, but I found Carol, who's a very intelligent. She actually has a marketing degree. She's in another country. She's got more education than I do, right? These things. And I think there's so much out there that people are yet to explore because, that old, I don't know if it's an adage or what it is, but it's just faster if I do it. If I just do it, it's faster, right? Versus taking the time to train someone else to take that task off your plate. That's a big part of it. So do you guys use virtual assistants, or do you use in-person? How do you guys coach coaches through that?
Good question. We kind of have gone across the board depending on what we're doing. Over the years, we used a great website called 99 Designs to do a lot of our design for website and invites for Christmas cards and whatever. Now we actually have that in-house. So John Hackbert, the guy I mentioned earlier, is our creative director. He actually does a lot of that. And even myself, I've taken some Photoshop and picked it up. So we do a big mashup of all those things. The best advice I have is to think about if it's a better use of your time. If there's something that you could be doing better. And if you're going to do it more than once, if you're just going to do something once, for sure, do it really quick. But if you're going to consistently do that over and over, take the time, like you said, to stop, write out a list or to systemize it and actually pass on that information, right?
Yeah. And if I could pass on some advice to people who are listening, I want a VA, I want a virtual assistant, is that writing out the standard operating procedure isn't going to take you nearly as long as you think it will.
No, for sure.
I'll do it. It's something I'll be putting off. God, this is going to be awful. Sit down and write an SOP. And then I just do it. And it's 5 minutes. I was like, wow, I just took 2 hours off my plate every week by writing this SOP. So,
for sure.
I don't know what I think it's not just me. I know everyone has this resistance internally to do these things, but it's a great experience. It's very liberating.
And it's one of those things that's a perfect example of something. If that's on my list, I try and schedule 1 hour a week. All right, for 1 hour a week for the next 2 or 3 months, I'm going to focus on what can I systematize. Is it systemize or systematize, or is it both? I say both all the time.
I like systematize. I think it sounds cool. So let's do that. Yeah.
So you do it. Setting aside that hour, literally putting it in the calendar that I'm going to circle back. I'm going to create some procedures once a week, every Friday morning, whatever. It is worth it. And for a small business owner, the more you do it, the quicker you'll be able to earn money sitting on the beach. That's honestly the answer.
Yeah. That's what everyone wants, right? The beach money. Cool. Well, but I think it's I'm not going to say it's entirely unique, because you're not the only one who invests this much time in their trainers, but it's something that is most commonly missed, is that component of investing in your trainers as business people, right? Because that is what gives you, Billy, and your business partner the freedom to elevate and do things that you really are within your zone of genius, or whatever you want to call it, right? So how did that epiphany come to you of like, okay, I need to train my trainers into being better entrepreneurs, business people? And then how has that journey evolved into thebusinessmovement.com?
Definitely. So as I mentioned, 14 years ago, we opened shop. We have always been an independent trainer facility. And a lot of our trainers were transitioning from a staff job like at an Equinox or Crunch or something, and they were transitioning to being a new small business owner.
Yeah.
So we were learning how to market the gym. I learned how to market the independent practice on my own, building it at the smaller facility where I started. But we were learning a lot more in a faster pace when we were learning how to market the gym. So we were constantly just kind of passing data along to folks that were new. The other thing we realized, we offer referrals to our trainers. So we help match them up with new clients who contact DIAKADI. We realized if we just started feeding our new trainers clients, we weren't teaching them how to fish, that whole idea. And so they were so reliant on us at all times. So that was another thing that we realized, all right, first of all, we're going to teach them how to fish and let them fish some, and then we can start teaching them or passing referrals on to them. So it was, again, that learning lesson just over 14 years of, all right, what works? What do they need to know? And honestly, we've gotten it down to 3 simple plans. We look at what do they need to learn for their business plan. And the business plan would include everything from mission and vision statements and really what direction are they wanting to head so that they have a vision. A lot of small trainers are like, or small personal trainer independent practices are just like going day to day. They're like, all right, I'm going to move here and we'll just see how it goes. So we try and give them a vision. We also try and teach them a little bit about doing some research about their competitors. That's a huge ball drop, in my opinion. I think most trainers, gym owners, we just don't know enough about our competitors. 1, to know where to put ourselves in the market. 2, how to feel confident with our pricing structures and what we're really doing in our business. But then 3, how to differentiate, how to really set ourselves apart in our markets. In San Francisco right now, if you go on Yelp, there are over 700 listings for personal trainers in the city. Over 700. So it is a completely saturated market. You have to differentiate. So we're teaching our folks how to do that. That's the business plan. Yeah. Then there's the financial plan, like everyone's favorite, what they love doing.
Yeah.
And so we try and take the fear factor out of that. It's literally, I call it a shark underneath the surface. Like most people are like, I'm good. I'm going month to month. So we try and really help them learn how to do their first profit loss statement, really like walk through steps of financial planning and forecasting.
Yeah.
And then the last thing comes what is usually what they feel like is the most important is that marketing plan. So we walk through really how to kind of set things up, what I call like a 3-step idea. 1 is the first idea of how do you really catch the eye, what I call the firefly effect. How do you catch the eye of a new client? So really like upping their firefly factor on their website, on their online social media. Second thing, what I call blowing their mind. So teaching our trainers how to nail that first impression. So as they're meeting with them for the first time, they have a super clean set of forms that are well documented or well branded, ideally all electronic online. So we really teach them how to blow their mind and make the sale immediately on the first connection with them. Yeah. And then the last thing is super glue. We talk to them a lot about trainer retention. Like how do you, it's so much easier to keep a client happy than go and find a new one, right? It's way harder to fish. So trying to really teach them what I think are the most important things are gratitude and acknowledgement. Our clients, they're the folks who are literally putting food on our table, keeping a roof over our head. We should be thanking them at every opportunity we have, and in a very creative and original way that matches your brand, that matches what that client's goals are. So really trying to tune in to how can they best show the gratitude and appreciation for the folks that are giving them the life they have, honestly. So all three of those plans, business, financial, marketing, we try and really kind of take note of what do they need help with and push that out as much as we can. And it's something, again, we've now built it into what we call Fitness Entrepreneur 101. All of our interns go through the program of building all three of those plans. And then our team members, our trainers, can actually kind of do ad hoc custom curriculums and kind of pick chapters out of Fitness Entrepreneur 101, spruce up their skills and try and beef up a little bit on their own plans on their own. So it's great. It's been a journey. It's been something we've been grassroots learning for 14 years and me for 20. And now I'm so excited to honestly kind of spread the word outside of DIAKADI. So this new online guided study program should be extremely helpful for fitness entrepreneurs anywhere or even aspiring fitness entrepreneurs. Anything, again, that I can do to pay it forward, push that information out there, that's my number one goal.
Yeah. It's interesting because the thought that comes to mind, there's so many fitness professionals, fitness trainers that get into facility ownership because one of their clients whispered in their ear one day, hey, you're a great trainer. You should be a gym owner. Right. So then maybe that person will even say, I'll finance it. Right. So they're like, yeah, I can do this because they see someone like you who's been doing it for 15, 20 years, a long period of time, and you make it look easy, right? Because you've just taken the time, you're battle tested, you put in the systems in place. So I can do what Billy does, right? And then they get in and then they start opening. Just 6 months later, they're like, oh shit. The point I'm making this is having facilities like yours where people can be, whatever you want to call it. Entrepreneur is a sexy term right now, right? It's like a rock. It's a trainers.
Yeah, when you say that, a trainer's like, I'm not an entrepreneur. That's someone who discovers a self-driving car. That is such a weird word, right? So I try to help people feel comfortable with it for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm not comfortable with the word because I can't spell it. I feel like the R's keep moving. Every time the R moves somewhere else. Anyway,
spell check. Exactly.
That's my own problems. But I guess the point is having facilities like yours where people can still grow their own business but have, not have to worry about the overhead. That's a really attractive option. And I hope people are listening to this. That's a super, super great option. I can't emphasize that enough. Having people like you where you can go in, you can still have the freedom. It's not a quote unquote 9 to 5, right? You can still do your own schedule. You can build your business, but you don't have to worry about rent, insurance, parking issues, all those things that come along with gym ownership that not too many people talk about, but it's battling with the city over whatever, right? There's a lot to it. And I think the opportunities that you're providing and other gym owners like you are tremendous.
Definitely. Thank you. And I mean, if I had to do it all again, I've said many times in my old and wise age, I have no idea if I would have the guts to do it again. Because like you said, it is a lot for sure. I love every minute of it though. And I feel really fortunate where we are now, but if I had to start it all over, I think it would be really challenging. The one thing I'll say too, so we have a group of maybe 5 trainers who, like you just said, they hit a point where they maximized their schedule and they were full at capacity here in the facility, and they didn't want to open a gym. They saw how I was running like a crazy chicken with my head cut off, and they're like, absolutely, I do not want that lifestyle. So they've actually started coming up with very creative ways to grow their business outside of their practice underneath the roof of DIAKADI. And there are 2 things that I'll share with the listeners that I highly recommend. If you're an independent trainer, 1, maximize your schedule. Fill it to the max. Mm-hmm. Continue to put money into your marketing. The next thing you do is actually start building your own referral network of trainers underneath your umbrella that then fall under your facilities umbrella. So when clients contact you, you're full, you have a list of trainers that then you refer them out to, and the trainer pays you a referral fee, and you spread that referral fee out over honestly, is however long as you want. It can be a few sessions. It can be a few months.
Yeah.
So that, again, passive income. Those trainers who develop those little miniature referral programs are making money on the beach, right? Number one goal.
Yeah.
The second thing that they've started to do are building intern programs. So that's something at DIAKADI. We built this really wonderful called DIAKADI Next intern programs to bring in young trainers and teach them fitness and business skills. So our trainers in-house have also started building their own intern programs. So they're shadowing, and then they're having their interns run sessions for them when they're out of town and slowly teaching them their style. And then, so they're getting money at that point, and then they extend that intern into being a referral trainer once they're done with the intern program. So then that feeds their referral program too. So those trainers are incredibly smart and above, kind of ahead of the curve, in my opinion, that they are doing this all underneath a very protected, they don't have to worry about rent every month if they're out of town and that type of stuff. So be creative. All this is again to those young folks out there. Be creative, or old folks trying to open a gym. Be creative in terms of don't think it has to be a facility. Just like you just said, Eric, there's so many directions that you can head with growing financially and expanding your facility or your business. Without it having to be a facility. That's definitely one of the things I try and pass out when I'm talking at conferences around the States, because it is something, again, I think is a missed opportunity for so many folks. They're at capacity and they just turn people away. Yeah,
that's a great point. And there's, getting creative with the ways you can make money now and make an income. It's so imperative because you can literally just create something out of your mind and sell it now online. Sure. Like you can, a special course specifically for, 40-year-old recovering gym owners, with a bum left ankle. And, I'm talking about me. Like you can like build a course that's for that person, and you'll find thousands of across the world. And that's the incredible thing. Or you can stay local. There's, my friends at OPEX, they do online coaching specifically within the CrossFit world, but they have coaches that, work 30 hours a week. They work under the umbrella of the OPEX brand, but they travel all over the world. They do their job from wherever they want to do it, and like those opportunities, if you just if that's what you're looking for and you start looking and start opening your eyes outside of the normal, like, well, I'll just get a job at a gym and then, they'll feed me clients. I'll get paid $20 an hour and then I'll burn out in 5 years and I'm done. That's the sad story for most trainers. But if people like you and other people, hopefully if people are listening to this, they'll start to get a little bit inspired to maybe take a couple hours out of their week and just be like, where else can I make money? And what is my ideal day? What does that perfect day look like? What's that beach money? What does that look like? How do I get there? And then start asking people for help.
And you said two things. One, taking time out of the week. Literally take time out of the week. There's a great coach named Robin Sharma that he had a podcast and he talked about the 90-91 idea. And his way he went about it was the first 90 minutes of every workday for the next 90 days that you were supposed to focus on your number one priority. You don't have to be, that's incredibly, that's intense. But the thing is, at least every week, set aside some time to be focusing on that creative business development and growth. The other thing is, with this, with the podcast archive that you have, as well as many, many others that are out there, there's so much inspirational idea out there on the internet for folks to, again, just kind of feed off of, like the stuff we're talking about today. So just listen and continue listening to podcasts and anything at all that you can find to help give you inspiration.
Yeah. And it's awesome. And, the big thing too is, everyone has a different circumstance. So, I think we all fall into a comparison trap of we automatically compare ourselves to someone else. Everyone has a unique set of advantages or disadvantages that have led them to where they are today. Maybe Billy Polson and DIAKADI, they found themselves at the right place at the right time in San Francisco. Maybe it's not a good time to start another gym like that. It's really expensive in San Francisco, right? So, look for your own way. Look at what advantages you have right now And then turn that into, what you want to do, because that's a big thing, is leveraging, not being like, oh, well, that guy had all the advantages. He came in at the right time. So-and-so podcaster started in 2009 when it was super hot, and they're like, no, well, that's great. Good for them. I wish them all the success. They made the most of it. But what's your point right now? Look at your circumstance right now. What advantages do you have? And then go get it. Like, that's the biggest thing is stop looking at what other people have done. Look at what you have in front of you and make it happen. Right?
Most definitely. Right. And again, it's what you said. A lot of people see the idea of opening a facility is, again, it's they see someone else do it and like, yeah, I need to do it. Just be creative. Get the inspiration and think like, all right, how can I tweak that to match what's going on in the market today? It's that, again, that competitor research. Look and see what's going on out there, what's working really well in your city, outside your city.
Yeah.
Mash that around, kind of massage that in your head a little bit. Then start to look at what are the missed opportunities out there? What are the things that are needed that are not in any of those businesses in your city or even in New York or wherever you want to compare to? Try and, again, look at what's going on and where you can take advantage of those missed opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great time for opportunity, man. It's so cool. And maybe you listen to Gary Vee, maybe you don't, but I do all the time because he just fires me up. And, it talks about how, everyone's so focused on, okay, what's the future going to bring? And I'm just as guilty. What's the next technology? What's the next? Is it voice, right? Is it content within applications? Like, what is it going to be? I want to be there. Meanwhile, we're missing the point that there is so much opportunity right here. Like, if I look to my left, look to my right, there's opportunity everywhere. I mean, you can literally make a living buying things on Craigslist and selling them on eBay.
100%. I saw a guy did that. He's a millionaire.
Yeah, you do that right now, but it's just a great time to be alive. So,
but you know what it takes is again, think creatively for sure, but make a plan and then run at it. Be a problem solver, but you got to hustle. Like I was thinking about when I was coming to work today, I was just thinking about what we're going to be talking about, and I just thought, you know what? Like, one of the most important things is hustle. Like, run at something. Commit to it and like make a plan and run at it. It's work, but it's that much more rewarding when you're just loving to run at whatever you're running at.
Yeah. Well, if you keep imagining what the end result is going to be, I know what my end result looks like. I know exactly what it looks like. It's this part of it is this sweet looking Mercedes Sprinter van conversion, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about? It's just going to be beautiful. It's going to be the best. And that's part of it. And that's what gets me up every morning and makes me reach out and build content and work for my clients and do all these things. And I think, if you can see the end result down the road, if it's something you really, really, really want, the work comes easy as long as you get organized. So
that's great. That's great advice. That vision, it's totally, every single entrepreneur, every single fitness entrepreneur, they have that vision. They have like, where do I want to be going? And sometimes that changes and updates every year. Right? They build it and they go to the next thing to build. So yeah, get that vision and then, like I said, run, man, run.
Yeah, I love it. So Billy, where do people find you? Where do they go online and find you?
Definitely. So thebusinessmovement.com. That's where our whole business education for fitness entrepreneurs. There's great content on there in our expert insights and on the blog. So on branding, on marketing, on building your first website. Definitely recommend check that out. There's also some great podcasts from our previous Business Movement series and events from our speakers from all types of entrepreneurs from all types of industries. And then for trainers, if you're looking for some fitness and some education on that side, definitely check out DIAKADI.life, www.diakadi.life. And that'll give you all, again, some great blog content from many of the trainers who've worked here and their expert knowledge and passing that on.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, great messaging. And I hope, fitness professionals are listening. Take this to heart and run with it and then share it with other people too, because this is a huge opportunity within our industry to adapt and change and kind of get out of the old school ways. And people like Billy are leading us. So thank you for doing that, Billy. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Eric. Spread the love, you guys. Thank you so much, man. Have a great day.
See you. Hey, fitness fans, don't leave yet. It's your host, Eric Malzone, and I have a quick favor to ask. Actually, 3 favors. So, number 1, if you're a fan of our show, I ask you to do something that takes under 3 minutes. Go to iTunes, please, and subscribe to our show. Please, please, please. It means so much to us. It's so important. And then give us a favorable review. we would really, really appreciate it. And I can't tell you how much it means and helps us out. So I know it takes 2 minutes of your day, and it means a lot to us. So please do that. Number 2, go to our YouTube channel, our Fitness Marketing Alliance, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel there. Number 3, if you like this episode or any of the episodes that we've released, share it on social. That's huge. That's a big deal for us. And we put a lot of work into these episodes, trying to give you great actionable content for the fitness industry. So that would mean a lot. And that's it. So we have some big plans coming up for this show. I'll be talking about that in the next couple episodes, but thank you so much for listening. It means so much. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I love to hear from everybody. Eric, ERIC @fitnessmarketingalliance.com.